that has a deer portrait on the thumb, a little forest scene on the middle and the ring nails. On the pinky, it has a ombre sweater, so it's a really dark brown along the cuticle, and then it fades into a very creamy pale color at the tip of the nail, and the sweater pattern follows that ombre as well. And then on the ring nail, or on the index nail, there is a radial ombre, which means it's light in the middle and it gets darker on the sides. Really cool effect. And then there is two snowflakes on top of it. One of them is shiny, not glittery, and one of them is glittery. It just has such a nice contrast. I actually think I like that nail the best, even though it might be one of the more simple of the designs. It just stands out as looking really cool. The whole design is done in very earthy tones. It is all done in browns and in just like whites, a lot of white in there with the snow. The only other color that sneaks in there is a color from Madam Glam called Vintage Blue. One of my absolute favorites. It's a beautiful autumn, fall, winter color. Really kind of a muted dark teal. Love that one. Otherwise, the majority of these browns are all from the Friends and Family color, Chapter 11 from Madam Glam this year. That collection is gorgeous, perfect for painting scenes like this. I hope you love it as much as I do. I will put all the color names as well as my discount code in the description box below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
So we are going to begin by using the Vintage Blue and the Perfect White on the thumb, middle, and ring nails to create an ombre. And I'm using a sponge to do this. This process is a little bit tedious. As you can see, a lot of the color gets picked up, especially on that first go around with the sponge. I ended up doing 3 coats on these two, or on these 3 nails of the 2 colors to eventually get that nice rich ombre that I was looking for. If you wanted to have a little bit more of a smoother appearance, or, you know, a quicker, some people like to use an ombre brush, and I will use that for the other nail, for the one that has the ombre that goes, the vertical ombre. But for me, a horizontal ombre, I just don't prefer to use a brush for. So that's my personal preference. So then on the thumb, we're going to begin with a just sort of a medium, I don't know, light medium brown tone tan to get just the basic shape of our deer's face and body down. Once you have the face and body down, or the head and body, you're going to need to add ears and just the start of the antlers. And when you're doing the antlers, you can, if you want to be a female deer, obviously don't add them. If you want to be a buck, then you're going to need to add the antlers. You can choose how many points you want them to have. You can choose how big you want the deer to be. If you want it to show the entire rack, if you want it to just be kind of a partial view like what mine is. I wanted to make sure that I could add a lot of detail to my deer's face. So I didn't want to make it too small on the nail. I want it to be a nice large portrait. So now grabbing a darker shade of brown, and I'll put all these color names as you see them flash across the screen. They will all be listed in the description box below. So if you have any questions or you want to reference back to it, you can always go and look at it there. But we're going to be adding some shading to our deer and just sort of start filling in some of those layers. There's multiple layers to this design as far as the color goes. So take your time, blend your colors in, and make sure you are curing frequently. So when I say curing frequently, sometimes I flash cure, sometimes I do a full cure. It'll kind of depend on the moment and exactly how many layers I have done, how many I'm doing, and if I'm going to be doing something where I'm painting another layer over the top of it where there's going to be multiple coats. So after that first layer I did with that kind of medium tan color, I absolutely did a full cure, just because I knew that everything was going to be piled up on top of this, and you need to make sure that that gets fully cured 100%. Now, between the dark brown and these lighter layers, I knew I wasn't planning on covering things up and doing multiple layers on top of the exact same thing necessarily, so I did some different sessions of doing some flash curing. After I had most of that done, then I did do another full cure. You kind of get into a rhythm of whether or not to do a full cure or partial cure once you start doing it more. The one thing that encourages me to flash cure more often than not when I'm doing my own nails is the fact that I can't be working on anything when one of my hands is in the lamp. And since I'm doing both of my hands, and at least usually this time I did get lazy and I just painted my right hand with the Vintage Blue color, which is, like I said, one of my favorites. So I don't mind having it on that hand, but I did initially intend to paint the whole deer and all of the different things on that hand as well. But it just takes a lot of time out of it when you are sitting there with your hand in. So a lot of times I will flash cure on myself more often than I will on clients, because I can be doing something on their other hand while one of them is curing. I am going to be doing a little bit of detailing on my deer with the white gel paint and black gel paint from Madam Glam. Those names will also be in the description box below. And as you can see, any of these little bits that I'm doing now that are that really intense, sharp lines, those are all going to be done with gel paint. Anything done with gel polish, once you apply top coat, smooths a little bit. And we're going to be applying our velvet matte top coat right now. And it's going to just sort of soften some of those gel polish lines and give it a very almost oil painting like effect. So beautiful. So now that that one's done, we're going to move on to the middle and index, or the middle and ring nails. And we're going to be doing this is the start of our trees in the background of our forest. Because I know that I'm going to be adding a deer in the middle of this one, I'm not going to be doing trees across the entire nail. I'm going to leave a little space in the middle open. I'm going to be I mixed some of my vintage blue with some of the perfect white from Madam Glam, and I'm going to be using that to add some shading on my snow. And I'm going to go back through with just straight up perfect white and add some highlighting on my snow just to give it even more detail. Use a darker shade of brown to add some shading to one side of your trees. Make sure you do this to all of your trees. Whenever you're doing these details on your trees, you may want to flash gears. Since I am using just gel polish, it does have a tendency to self-level and spread out slightly, and you want those lines to be nice and crisp. Then I'm going to go through with a lighter shade and add some highlights to my trees. On the ring nail that doesn't have the deer, I did paint trees all the way down across the middle of the nail as well as the sides. So now I'm going to go back through with the same color that I started out my deer with on the thumbnail, and I'm going to be adding the base of my deer to the middle of this nail. This time I'm going to be doing more of my deer, a little bit more of the body, not the entire thing, since I don't have quite enough space. If my nail was square, I would have probably had enough space to paint the entire deer, but because I have almond shaped nails at the moment, there just wasn't as much space to the side. So we have partial deer. It's basically just the hind legs that get cut off. The way that I have my deer positioned, he's kind of like butt towards the camera, face turned back like he's looking over his shoulder. So it's hard to tell exactly how that looks in the beginning just because it's just that brown sort of shapeless blob. But once we start adding more and more detail to our deer, you'll sort of see that shape come to life. So we're going to be same process. We're going to add the darker stuff to our deer first and then go through after we have some of those darker layers done and add anything that needs to be brighter, and then go back through at anything that needs to be darker, just continually alternating between light and dark until you have exactly the effect that you're going for. Same thing like before, adding some shading on the antlers, making sure that the whole thing gets as much detail as you can possibly fit in there. And this deer is so teeny tiny that really very fine details, it's just not possible. And, give yourself some credit for doing any of it really. It's unlike the thumbnail where you can do different little fur texture even within your deer. It's just not that plausible on the teeny tiny one. I'm going to be adding some more little details with the white and black gel paints. And then once you're done with these scenes, you can apply the same Velvet Matte Top Coat. That has such a beautiful final effect, their Velvet Matte Top Coat from Madam Glam. So now on the index nail, we're going to be painting that radial vertical ombre. So you're going to start out with your darker brown colors on the sides of the nail and paint 2 sections. Then you're going to grab a lighter shade and paint 2 more sections on either side right next to the darkest, and then right down the center, you're going to fill it in with the lightest shade. Bear in mind that whatever color you have that's the darkest will probably end up looking lighter at the end, and the lightest color will end up looking darker. The contrast settles down a little bit. So if you're worried that the contrast that you start out with is just too dramatic, it will kind of become more muted as you go. Once you have the first coat done, then you're going to want to repeat the process with the second coat. This time, for absolutely no particular reason, I started with the middle and worked my way outwards. There's no right and wrong. You can do that part any way you like. And then I am using the ombre brush from Madam Glam. And I'm being very cautious to make sure that I'm not getting the dark color into my middle. So when I switch sides, because I did this on one side and then the other, I flipped my brush over so that the dark side of the brush stayed on the dark side no matter where I was working on the nail. I'm going to cure that, then apply the Velvet Matte Top Coat. Once that's done, I'm going to go back to my white gel paint and I'm going to be painting my first snowflake. And when you're doing snowflakes, if you have any questions on snowflakes at all, or and want to know any of my tips and tricks and hints, I do have a video that I did last week that is a live class on painting among snowflakes, also a few other wintry-like designs. But the first one is snowflakes. And if you have any questions, like I said, about painting snowflakes or my personal philosophies on painting snowflakes, I would highly recommend you check that video out. And that video was the first place that a sneak peek for this design was seen because I had it on my nails then. So if you want to see more looks of this particular design in action, you can head over there too. So I will put a link to that in the description box below. So after you have the first snowflake done, you're going to want to fully cure it. And for the Madam Glam gel paint, that is a full minute in a professional grade LED lamp. And then you're going to go through and you're going to do your second snowflake. Do not flash cure your snowflake at any point until you're done with it. Once you're done painting it, before you cure it, sprinkle some loose glitter on top of it, tap it off, fully cure again. Now on the pinky nail, we're going to be using the same colors a brown to do an ombre. This time it's going to be horizontal, much like the thumb, middle, and ring nails, but in the 3 shades of brown. I'm going to be painting 3 sections down the nail, darkest to lightest. And then after I have all of them filled in, you can use your ombre brush, like I said before, for the other nails, or my sponge technique. I personally prefer to use the sponge, like I said. Sometimes I find it helps if after you sponge the first layer, if you sprinkle, before you cure, if you sprinkle some clear acrylic powder, then that makes the second coat have a little bit more to stick to. I did not do that for this particular design, but I have done that in the past, and sometimes I find it to be helpful. So after you have that next coat, I'm actually going to take just my little ultraliner brush and I'm going to be swiping it back and forth a little bit to start the blend, and then cleaning up the edges just a little bit. And then if you want to, going back through and doing just a little bit of sponging, very lightly tapping it. You're still probably going to end up with 3 coats, but it might just make the blend a little smoother. Once you're done, apply a layer of the Velvet Matte Top Coat, and then with the same colors we were on a break, Taste Like Glam and Smelly Cat, we're going to be painting our cable knit pattern. So I'm going to reference you guys to another live class of mine. This would be the October live class where I did fall and autumnal type designs, and I did a live class based on doing a sweater pattern. And if you have any questions on sweater patterns, I would highly recommend checking that one out. All of these live classes that I do are always available for rewatching, or if you miss them, you can always go back and watch them. And I do highly recommend it if you have any questions and you see something in a design of mine that you're just wondering about, seeing if possibly any of those live videos could provide some insight. So once you have your little ombre done and you're working within your colors to maintain the ombre, when you're doing like the stripes, gently blend them together, being careful not to go too crazy and mess up your pattern. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you just have to kind of get the vague idea of the ombre for the cable knit pattern. Then you're going to generously sprinkle it with some clear acrylic powder, and the design is done once that is cured. And this is it. I love it, you guys. I wasn't really so sure I would love this design because I'm not somebody that typically wears neutral colors, brown tones, etc. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to have browns on my nails. That's not my style. But as soon as I had it on, I was like, you know what? This is way more gorgeous than I expected it to be. So I hope you guys love it too. And I will see you next time. Bye.